So hi friends and welcome back. In previous video we had discussed about the general heat conduction equation in Cartesian form and we had derived that equations. Now today in this video we will discuss about the general heat conduction equation in cylindrical coordinates. So these cylindrical coordinates, where this general heat conduction equation in cylindrical coordinates will be used. So this heat conduction equation can be used to derive or to know the heat conduction through the cylindrical rods, through the cylindrical wires, means our wires which are used in our houses, in electrical supplies. Okay, so if we want to find the heat conduction through that wires, then we can use this equation. And if you have any doubts, then please ask me in the comment section, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Okay, so without any further delay, let's get started. So before starting our today's topic, one thing I forgot to say in the previous video of general heat conduction equation in Cartesian form, that we had derived that equation for the unit time. Okay, now if we want to derive that equation for time, small time interval, let's say d tau, then we have to multiply the equations of part A, part B and part C with the time, small time interval d tau. So nothing you have to do, just you have to multiply this d tau with the equation of part A, part B and part C. Here I had shown for part A, I will be showing for part B and part C. So in part A, heat input in x direction in time d tau is equals to dx dy dz into del by del x into kx into del t by del x into this term d tau. This equation, up to this equation we had derived in the previous video. Just we have to multiply this small time interval, that is d tau, to find the general heat input or heat input in x direction in time interval d tau. So similarly for heat input in the y direction will be dx dy dz into del by del y into ky del t by del y into d tau. Similarly heat input in the z direction in time interval d tau will be dx dy dz into del by del z into kz into del t by del z into bracket d tau. This is for part A. I will be showing for part B and part C. So now for part B, that is heat generated in the element in time d tau equals to qg into dx dy dz. In previous video we had written this much only because we had derived for the unit time interval. But if we want to derive this for a time interval, small time interval d tau, then we have to multiply this d tau with this equation. So it will be qg into dx dy dz into d tau. Now for part C, change in internal energy in time d tau equals to rho into dx dy dz into C is the specific heat, into del t by del tau multiply d tau. Okay, in previous video we had derived this much only because we had derived that equation for unit time interval. If we want to derive this equation for time interval d tau, then we have to just multiply this d tau. Okay, now if in the previous video I had used for part 1, part 2, part 3, then nothing, it is the same as part A, part B and part C. Okay, now if we put these three equations in the equation, that is A plus B equals to C. A is nothing but net heat input in all direction equals to this A is nothing but net heat input in all direction, B is the heat generated in the element, and C is the change in internal energy. This is the energy balance equation. Now if we put these three equations in this equation, then you will find that this term, this dx dy dz and d tau, dx dy dz and d tau will be cancelled from both the sides, left hand and right hand, and you will get the final result as we had derived in this previous video. Okay, so you can see here A plus B equals to C. So A is net heat input in all direction in time interval d tau, B is net heat generated in the element in time interval d tau, and C is change in internal energy in time interval d tau. So you can see d tau and d tau. So this whole term will be cancelled. Okay, so this whole term will be cancelled. So this got and this cancelled. So at final you will get the equation as del by del x into kx into del t by del x plus t by del tau. Okay, so this is our derived equation which is discussed in previous video. So after that, if we take this k as the homogeneous material, then k will be out and we will get del by del x, and we will get del square t by del x square plus del square t by del y square plus del square t by del z square plus qg by k. If we divide the whole equation by k, then we will get qg by k equals to rho c by k into del t by del tau, which is discussed in the previous video. Just go and see that. I will provide the link in the description corner, in the right hand corner. Okay, so now we will start our today's topic, that is general heat conduction equation in cylindrical coordinates. So this is a cylindrical shape, and from this shape a cylindrical element is taken out. Now this shape looks like the cut piece of the cake. We cut a cake, so it is like a piece which is of pizza piece, okay, a triangular piece. So it is in 3D. The angle subtended by this piece is d phi at the center of this rod. It is d phi. So this length, this arc length will be what? Arc length will be theta into radius, because we know that theta is equals to arc length divided by radius. So from this equation, our arc length will be theta into radius. Here theta is d phi. So d phi into r. So this length is r into d phi. Now the length along the radial direction of this element is dr. The length along the axial direction, this is the axis of this rod, so it is dz. Okay. Now this axis coordinates is considered. This is the y-axis, this is the z-axis. The axial direction of the rod is z-axis, and this x-axis is towards us. Okay. Now this element is taken from this rod. So this element looks like the cut piece of the cake. I hope you can imagine. Now we will derive this equation, but before that we will discuss some assumptions. So what will be the assumptions? So first and the foremost assumption in this derivation of the cylindrical coordinates is the K, that is thermal conductivity, is constant in all directions. Okay, this we have to remember. In previous video, when we had derived the general heat conduction equation in Cartesian form, in that we had taken the non-homogeneous and non-isotropic material. So we got the assumption that K is different in different direction, but here K is same in all direction. That is Kr equals to K phi equals to Kz equals to K. Now the second condition, that is rho, that it is the density is constant, and the third is C, specific heat is constant in all directions. Now the remaining assumptions are same as the assumptions which we had discussed in the previous lecture. That is, we have unsteady state heat conduction, then we have internal heat generation, then we have the area perpendicular to the heat flow remains constant. Okay, this is perpendicular sign. Okay, now we will see the heat which is entering and leaving this element. So first the heat is coming in the radial direction, that is here, it is QR, and leaving will be QR plus dr. Now heat entering in the tangential direction, that is here, it is Q phi. Okay, along this phase the heat is entering Q phi, and leaving from this behind phase is Q phi plus d phi, or write it proper, it is leaving is Q phi plus d phi. Okay, now the heat which is entering along the axial direction is Qz, and leaving is Qz plus dz. Okay, so again I will repeat that heat which is entering from the behind of this element is Qr, and leaving from this element is Qr plus dr. Now this Q phi, the heat entering along the tangential or the circumferential direction from this phase, that is, I will mark this phase is q phi and leaving is q phi plus d phi, leaving in backside direction. Now the heat which is entering along the axial direction is qz and leaving is qz plus dz. Now we will derive the equation considering the energy balance equation. So now again I will say that QR is entering from the back side and it is leaving from the front side, that is QR plus DR along the radial direction. This Q phi is entering along the tangential direction, that is along this phase, that is Q phi and leaving here, that is Q phi plus D phi. This QZ is entering along the Z direction or the axial direction and leaving from the top, that is QZ plus DZ. Okay. Now according to this energy balance equation, that is net heat accumulated in the element from all the direction in time d tau plus heat generated in the element in time d tau is equals to energy stored in the element in time d tau. Now this net heat accumulated in the element from all direction is similar to the net heat inputted in the element from all direction in time d tau. So don't get confused. You can also write here that net heat input in all direction in time interval d tau. This heat generated in the element is same and it is equals to energy stored in the element in time interval d tau. So this is same as change in internal energy in time d tau. So don't get confused. You can also write here change in internal energy in time d tau. Okay, so now we will divide this equation in three parts, that is part A, part B and part C. Mark that energy balance equation as equation number 1. Now we will derive for part A, but before that we will write the volume of this elemental shape. Okay. Now volume will be this R d phi into this R d phi into this dz and the length along the radial direction is dr. So this is the volume of this elemental shape, that is R d phi dz into dr. So net heat accumulated in the element from all direction in time d tau can be written as net heat accumulated in the element from the radial direction plus net heat accumulated in the element along the tangential direction in time d tau and net heat accumulated in the element along the axial direction in time d tau. So you have to write that net heat accumulated, this is accumulated in element along radial direction in time d tau plus net heat accumulated in element along tangential direction in time d tau and net heat accumulated in the element along the axial direction in time d tau. Okay, so you have to write this. Now we will derive along the radial direction first. But before deriving, mark this equation as equation number 2. Okay. So net heat accumulated along radial direction in time d tau can be written as this QR minus QR plus dr. ओके ये अभी ये कैसे आया हम अब देखते हैं. ओके, नेट हीट एक्यूमुलेटेड मीन्स कितनी हीट अंदर गई. सो लेट अस कंसीडर एक हमारे पास एक ब्लॉक है और इसमें हमने 100 जूल हीट डाली. ओके, और यहाँ से हमारे पास निकली 50 जूल. मतलब इस ब्लॉक में कितनी हीट एक्यूमुलेट हुई. सो हीट एक्यूमुलेटेड इज इक्वल्स टू 100 माइनस 50. So it is equals to 50 joule. So similarly this 100 is equals to QR, that is heat influx. Now here a new term is introduced, that heat influx. Now this heat influx means heat entering. Okay, entering. So heat influx is QR and leaving, that is heat efflux. Heat efflux. So this term means heat leaving. Okay, so you can also write heat influx is Q phi and heat efflux is QR plus dr. So net heat accumulated will be QR minus QR plus dr. Okay, so I hope you understood. So now we will expand this according to the Taylor series expansion. So according to Taylor series expansion, QR plus dr can be written as QR plus del QR by del R into dr upon 1 factorial plus del square qr by del r square into dr divided by 2 factorial and so on. Now you can see this term is less than this term, and again if we write the next term, then this term will be less than this term, because here 2 factorial will be there, here 3 factorial will be there in the denominator. So this term will be less than this term. So we can neglect this much part. So this much part can be neglected. So we will write only this. That is qr plus dr equals to qr plus del qr by del r into dr upon 1 factorial. Okay. So now we will substitute this in the above equation. So we will get, so you will write this net heat accumulated in radial direction in time d tau, which is equals to qr minus of qr plus del qr by del r into dr. So if you open this bracket, then we will get minus del by del r into qr into dr. Okay, here we had forgotten to multiply the d tau because we want to find in time interval d tau. So this will be minus del qr by del r into dr into d tau. Okay, so if I write properly, so we will get this minus del by del r into qr into what will be the equation, that is del by del r into qr into dr is equals to d tau. Okay, so this is our equation. Now we will use the Fourier's law. According to Fourier's law, why we will use Fourier's law? Because we want to find this value, that is qr. So according to Fourier's law, we have q equals to minus k a dt by dx. But here we want to find along radial direction, so we will write qr is equals to minus kr. But we know that thermal conductivity is same in all directions, so we will write here kr. So kr will be k. Okay, because it is same. And here area along this radial direction, area perpendicular to this radial direction is this. So what will be the area? That this is r d phi into dz. So it will be r d phi into dz. And here we have more than one variable, so we will write del t by del r. Okay, so we will substitute this equation in the above. So we will get net heat accumulated along the radial direction in time d tau, you have to write here, which is equals to minus of del by del r into minus k into r d phi dz into del t by del r into dr, okay, and d tau. So this minus minus gets plus. Okay, now I will rub this much part. So it will be minus minus plus and k out. Now what we can bring out? This d phi dz and d tau and dr we can bring out. So it will be k into d phi dz dr and d tau we can bring out, and we cannot bring this r because here it is derivative with respect to r. Okay, so here multiplication will be here, so I will write here it is d by del by del r into r del t by del r. Okay, so this much term is in the derivative. So I hope you understood. Now here we will use the product rule of derivative. Okay, so it will be k into d phi dz dr d tau into, first let's say this is u and this is v. So if we use the product rule, then we can say that d by dx of uv can be written as u into derivative of v plus v into derivative of u. Okay, so similarly we will apply this. So u is r and v is del t by del r. So first r is constant, then we will derivative del square t by del r square plus here v will be constant, so v is del t by del r into del by del r of r will be 1, because derivative of r with respect to r will be 1. Okay, so finally we will get this k into d phi dz dr d tau into del square t by del r square plus del t by del r. Okay, now one thing you have to remember, that we have to bring these volume terms in common. Okay, so here r is there, but here r is not there, so we will bring r. Okay, so to bring r we will take r common, so we will write here and it will be 1 upon r. Why we had bring this r as common? Because at last when we substitute the equation of part A, part B and part C in our main equation of energy balance, that time this whole term will cancel from both the sides, that it left hand and that right hand. Okay, so we have to bring this r common. So this is for radial direction. Now we will see for axial direction. Now mark that equation of radial direction as equation number 3 or 4. I don't remember the exactly number. Okay, so mark that equation 3 or 4. I don't know the number. Now we will derive this net heat accumulated in the element along axial direction in time d tau. So along axial direction is qz and leaving is qz plus dz. So we will write heat influx as qz and leaving is heat efflux as qz plus dz. Okay, now same according to the Taylor series expansion. So it is qz plus dz is equals to qz plus del qz by del z into dz. Okay, so now we will write this in the above equation. So you have to write this whole, that net heat accumulated in the element along the axial direction in time d tau. We had multiply time d tau. So if you write in this bracket, then it will be qz minus qz plus del qz by del z into dz into d tau. Okay, so if you open this bracket, then we will get minus of del qz by del z into dz into d tau. Okay, so again we will use this Fourier's law. First I will write here, so it is minus of del by del z into qz into dz into d tau. Okay, so now according to Fourier's law, this qz is equals to minus kz, but we know that thermal conductivity in all direction is same, so we will write k. So minus k into area perpendicular to the axial direction is this area. So it will be dr into r d phi. So it is r d phi into dr. Okay, so this length and this breadth is multiplied, so we will get r d phi into dr into minus del t by del z. Okay, so we will substitute this equation in the above. So we will get net heat accumulated in the element along axial direction in time d tau equals to minus del by del z to minus of k r d phi dr into del t by del z into dz into d tau. Okay, so here this k r d phi dr, dz and d tau can be taken outside. So d tau is outside, so we will bring this side. So it will be minus minus plus, and this is k r d phi dz dr and d tau. Okay, so here del by del z into this del t by del z is remaining. So we will get del square t by del z square. Okay, so this as equation number 4 or 5. So we got our final answer, that is net heat accumulated in the element along axial direction in time d tau. This is separate part. So in time d tau is equals to minus this minus minus gets plus, and this all things bringing out, so we will get k into r d phi dz dr d tau into del square t by del z square. This is heat accumulated along this z direction in time d tau. Now we will see heat accumulated along this tangential direction or circumferential direction. So net heat accumulated in the element along tangential direction in time d tau is, so along tangential direction is heat influx, that is heat entering, is q phi, and heat efflux, that is heat leaving, is q phi plus d phi. Okay, so now we will expand this using Taylor series, so that is q phi plus d phi. Now up to this, when we had derived, when we had expanded using the Taylor series expansion, then we have the element as, let's say we will derive for the radial direction, so we have the element as dr, having the length dr, okay, and heat which is entering is this and traveling the distance, that is dr. मीन्स हमने अब तक जहाँ भी ये टेलर सीरीज एक्सपांशन यूज़ किया है, तो हमने कौन सा वेरिएबल देखा है, जो वेरिएबल हीट फ्लोइंग के डायरेक्शन में है. सो अब हमारे इस केस में जब हीट सर्कमफरेंशियल डायरेक्शन में एंटर करेगी, तब कौन सा वेरिएबल ऑफ लेंथ होगी, ये आर डी फाई, मीन्स हीट यहाँ से उस पीछे की साइड से निकलेगी. सो हमारी लेंथ क्या होगी, दिस आर डी फाई. ओके, सो दिस इज द लेंथ. सो here when we use this Taylor series expansion, then we have to write this q phi plus del q phi by, हमने जब along radial direction, along axial direction जब हमने expand किया था using Taylor series expansion, तब हमारे पास एक एलिमेंट था और हीट कहाँ से कहाँ फ्लो होती है, मीन्स हीट कहाँ फ्लो होगी, along this डायमेंशन, दैट इज dr, मीन्स हीट यहाँ से पीछे से आई और आगे से निकल गई, मीन्स कितना ट्रैवल किया, दिस dr, जितना लेंथ ट्रैवल की हीट ने. तो हमने क्या लिखा था, क्यू आर प्लस डेल क्यू आर बाई डेल आर इंटू डी आर. ओके, मीन्स यहाँ पे जो टर्म है ये हमने यहाँ पे लिखा है. सो सिमिलरली वी विल सी फॉर दिस सर्कमफरेंशियल डायरेक्शन. सो हमारे इस सर्कमफरेंशियल डायरेक्शन में क्या लेंथ है, आर डी फाई लेंथ है. यहाँ हम देख सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे आर डी फाई लेंथ है. सो दिस इज आर डी फाई लेंथ. ओके, सो जब हम इसको टेलर सीरीज एक्सपेंशन से डिराइव करेंगे, तब हम क्या लिखेंगे, क्यू फाई प्लस डेल क्यू फाई बाई आर इंटू डेल फाई इंटू आर इंटू डी फाई. ओके, फिर से समझाता हूँ कि हमने जब रेडियल डायरेक्शन में एक्सपांशन किया था टेलर सीरीज से, तो हीट कौन सी लेंथ में फ्लो हो रही थी, इस डी आर लेंथ में हीट फ्लो हो रही थी. ओके, हीट यहाँ से यहाँ निकल गई और डी आर लेंथ जितना हीट ने ट्रैवल किया. तो हमने टेलर सीरीज एक्सपांशन से क्या लिखा था, दैट इज क्यू आर प्लस डेल क्यू आर डिवाइड बाय, यहाँ पे जो होगा वो डेल आर लिखेंगे एंड हियर वी विल राइट डी आर. ओके, इसको हमने ध्यान में रखा था कि यहाँ पे डी आर है. अब हमारे इस केस में अलोंग सर्कमफरेंशियल डायरेक्शन और टेंजेंशियल डायरेक्शन में क्या है, लेंथ हमारी आर डी फाई है. सो अभी हम जब टेलर सीरीज एक्सपांशन लिखेंगे तो क्यू फाई प्लस डेल क्यू फाई बाय आर, यार आर इंटू डी फाई है. सो यहाँ पे क्या आएगा, आर इंटू डेल फाई, और यहाँ पे ये सेम आएगा आर इंटू डी फाई. ओके, सो दिस मेथड इज जस्ट फॉर अंडरस्टैंडिंग. A reason behind this r del phi is a different reason which we have to go in the principle of derivative, but we don't require that for our topic. So remember this jugaad method. Okay, so this is q phi plus del q phi by r into del phi into r into d phi. Now we will substitute this whole term in above. So when we substitute the whole term in above, we will get net heat accumulated in element along tangential direction in time d tau, which is equals to q phi minus q phi plus d phi is this. So q phi plus del q phi by r into del phi into r into d phi. Okay, so if we open this bracket, then we will get minus of del q phi by r into del phi into R into d phi. Okay, so this we will get. Now again we have to use this Fourier's law. So I will write here, that is minus del by R into del phi into here q phi and R into d phi. Okay, again we have to use this Fourier's law. So according to Fourier's law, this q phi is equals to minus k phi will be equals to k only. So k phi will be k. Area along this circumferential direction is dr into dz. So area is dr into dz into del t by, now again here R into del phi will come. Okay, so this small thing we have to remember, this in denominator again we will have R into del phi. So now we will substitute this in the above equation. So we will get minus minus plus, so del by R into del phi into what will be q phi, it is k dr dz. Here again d tau, which we had forgotten, so d tau. Okay, so it will be k dr dz into del t by R into del phi into this R into d phi, and here d tau will come. Okay, so now I will rub the above term. So it will be equals to, here k will be out, dr will be out, this dz will be out. Okay, and this R into d phi will be out. So we will get k into R, k into R d phi dz dr and d tau, and here we will have del upon R into del phi. Okay, it is getting congested, so I will write again. So it is, again this k will be out, k R d phi dr dz d tau. Okay, then into bracket we will get del upon R into del phi, then this del t divided by R into del phi, R into del phi. Okay, so this term we are getting here. So this R and this R will be multiplied. Okay, so we will get, I will rub, so it is k R d phi dz dr d tau into this 1 upon R square into del by del phi into del t by del phi. So this is del square t by del phi square. This is del square t by del phi square. Okay, so this equation which we are getting, that is k R d phi dz dr d tau into 1 upon R square into del square t by del phi square. Okay, so this equation is equation number 5. So this is the equation of net heat accumulated in the element along tangential direction in time d tau. Okay, so now a final equation for part A is net heat accumulated in the element along all direction in time d tau is equals to k R d phi dz dr d tau is taken common from all three equations. So we will get del square t by del R square plus 1 upon R into del t by del R plus 1 upon R square into del square t by del phi square plus del square t by del z square. So this is the equation for part A. So mark it as equation number 6. Okay, so I hope you got this equation. Now we will derive the equation for part B. So heat generated in the element in time d tau is equals to Qg into volume into the time interval d tau. This whole term is discussed in the previous video of general heat conduction equation in Cartesian form. So go and see that. Okay, if you don't understood how this formula had came. Now this Qg into volume will be what? volume is equals to this R d phi dz and dr. Okay, so this is the volume into d tau. This is the time interval d tau. Okay. Now mark this equation as equation number 6 or 7. Okay, I don't remember the exact number. Now for part C, what is the part C? That is heat stored in the element in time d tau. Again we can write here change in internal energy, okay, in time d tau also. This is same as heat stored in the element in time d tau. So it is mc delta t. mc into delta t will be del t by del tau into d tau, because we are finding in time interval d tau. So mass will be density into volume. Okay, density into volume. So what will be the volume? Density volume is this R d phi dz dr into C into del t by del tau into d tau. So this equation has equation 6 or 7 or 8. So now we will substitute all these equations, that is equation of part A, part B and part C in our energy balance equation. So when we substitute all the equations of part A, part B and part C in our main equation of energy balance, then we will get K into R d phi dz dr d tau into bracket del square T by del R square plus 1 upon R into del T by del R plus 1 upon R square into del square T by del phi square plus del square T by del Z square. This is for equation, this is for part A. Now plus part B. So it is Qg into R d phi dz dr d tau. Okay, so this is for part B, which is equals to part C. So in rho into dr d phi dz dr into d tau into C into del T by del tau. So you can see that this part will be cancelled from both the sides. Okay, so we will finally get K into del square T by del R square plus 1 upon K plus Qg equals to rho C del T by del tau. So if we divide this equation by K, then we will get this Qg by K and rho C by K. Now let alpha, that is thermal diffusivity, is equals to K upon rho C. So if you want to substitute this in the above equation, then we will get this rho C will come down. So here 1 upon K upon rho C. So K upon rho C is nothing but alpha. Alpha is thermal diffusivity. So it is 1 upon alpha. So at last we will get del square T by del R square plus 1 upon R into del T by del R plus 1 upon R square into del square T by del phi square plus del square T by del Z square plus Qg by K equals to 1 upon alpha into del T by del tau. So this is the equation, that is general heat conduction equation in cylindrical coordinates. Okay. So now we will see the different cases. Okay, so we will discuss different cases. So first case, that is case 1, that is steady state heat conduction. Steady state heat conduction with internal heat generation. So what will be the answer? Here steady state means temperature is not changing with time. So temperature is not function of time tau. So our del T by del tau will be 0, and there is internal heat generation, so it will be there. So we are getting del square T by del R square plus 1 upon R into del T by del R plus Qg by K is equals to 0. So this term will be 0. So right hand side will be 0. So this is the equation for steady state heat conduction with internal heat generation. Okay. Now if we want that steady state heat conduction with no internal heat generation, that is case 2. So at that time this Qg will be 0. So this term will be 0. So we are getting is equals to this. Okay. So this is case 2, that is steady state heat conduction with no internal heat generation. So This is about the general heat conduction equation in cylindrical coordinates. So that's all. I hope you had enjoyed this lecture. If you have any doubts, then please ask me in the comment section. Please subscribe to my channel for more educational videos, like and share. Also follow me on the Instagram. I will provide the link in the description corner. Okay. So that's all for the today. Have a good day and bye.